Hey, welcome to day 7 of 100 on Pam's Pep Talks. Today we're going to be talking about 7 reasons why I love the Daily Audio Bible for my daily Bible reading / listening. So, the Daily Audio Bible is a podcast that is on the website dailyaudiobible.com, as well as on an app. And so I access it through the app, Daily Audio Bible. It is free. So I will leave a link to the website where you can access how to get it and everything. It's on all, Android and Apple access. So anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get into the 7 reasons why I love the Daily Audio Bible. So, first of all, I love that it is recorded fresh daily. A lot of Bible apps where you can listen to the Bible have been recorded all the way through, and you can click and listen, and it's the same every year. That it's just reused. You can jump in and listen to any day. This is actually recorded every single day. I forget what year they're on, if it's like 17, 18, 19 years that they've been doing this. It's really incredible. And so during each podcast, there is the Bible reading, there is commentary or like application for that reading for that day. Then they have a prayer, and then a little bit of info just about the Daily Audio Bible, and then a special part at the end that is my favorite, that makes it really, really different from anything else. And I'm actually going to save that for last. So make sure you listen all the way to the end to hear about that just amazing part of it that comes at the end of every broadcast. The second reason that I love the Daily Audio Bible is that it helps me to consume more of God's Word. So it's audio, and I have a hard time focusing on the Bible to stay with it, to read much more than a few verses to stay focused. And this helps keep me moving. It's just like it's not like I'm paying attention every second of every broadcast, but overall I am definitely consuming more than I would be if I was just trying to read on my own. So just the fact that it's audio and it comes up every single day, I am consuming more of God's Word. Okay, so step number 3 of reasons why I love the Daily Audio Bible. By the way, let's abbreviate it to DAB. They say that all the time. Welcome to the DAB, or I love the DAB. The people who listen are called dabbers. So, anyways, it is free. Of course, it is a ministry, and so it is listener supported. And so those who feel led can support, and of course they need and appreciate that. But it is free to anyone, anywhere in the world who will listen. And so for those who don't have anything, but they have access to listen either on a phone or through the internet, it's free. So that is amazing. Number 4 is that you actually have there's actually 3 options to listen, 3 main options. So there's the regular DAB, and that is going through the Bible in 1 year, and each day has an Old Testament passage, a New Testament passage, Psalms, and Proverbs. And so it's divided up. You go through the whole Bible in 1 year, and you've got a little bit of Old Testament, a little bit of New Testament, a little bit of Psalms, a little bit of Proverbs every single day. That is hosted by Brian, and that's what I consider the OG, the original of Daily Audio Bible. There is also Daily Audio Bible Chronological, or DABC, which is hosted, it's actually co-hosted with Brian's wife, Jill, and their grown daughter, China. So they take turns doing Daily Audio Bible Chronological. And so they start at the very beginning of the Bible and start walking through. And then and so it kind of jumps around. Eventually you're going to end up at Revelation, which is, the last chronologically. But as Psalms, like as you're reading about David and Psalms that apply to that, they will actually insert that in. You're going to be reading along, and then you're going to get to where they insert Job in, because that comes chronologically. Whereas the Bible, the way that it's set up with the books of the Bible, is not necessarily chronologically in order. So they kind of skip around, but it's in order chronologically. And so it's just a different way of seeing the whole arc of the Bible story. There is also Daily Audio Bible Kids, where they have a shorter passage, and it is hosted by Brian and his son, who is, his name is Ezekiel, and he's precious. And they don't get through the whole Bible. They're reading smaller passages, but it's great for kids. So I have actually done both Daily Audio Bible and Daily Audio Bible Chronological. For 1 year, I did both together, and so I was what's called a double dabber. So I love that there are those options. Currently, I am only listening to the regular Daily Audio Bible with Brian. Okay, so then number 5, I love that they use different versions of the Bible. All the churches that I've gone to pretty much have stuck with the King James Version, and I have taught using the King James Version. It is what's familiar to me, but it's not that I was like a King James only person, but it was that was what was familiar. And so I have really enjoyed opening my mind to other translations, because it makes me pay attention more. So like they'll do 1 week of one translation, 1 week of another, 1 week of another. So I've gotten here lots of different translations. And so passages that had become like kind of so familiar to me in the King James that maybe I wasn't even hearing them anymore because of their familiarity. When I hear it in a different way, it's like, oh, yeah, I hadn't thought about it that way, or, oh yeah, that's what that means. So I really enjoyed that they actually use different versions, constantly changing from week to week. And then number 6, I really enjoy the rhythm of what they have going at the Daily Audio Bible. So because it is recorded fresh daily, and well, of course, they're not, obviously, they've got to be working ahead a little bit. I mean, I am barely started on YouTube, and I know that there is a process to the production of something. And so they're not, and it's, I'm not sure what time it comes out. It's always there when I wake up in the morning, but so I'm not sure exactly what time it gets released. But anyway, I know that they're broadcasting from Tennessee, but I don't know exactly what time it gets released. Anyways, Brian often talks about, like, say on Sunday, it's the start of a brand new shiny sparkly week. And he'll talk about how, we're wrapping up this week, or I can't believe that we've gotten to the end of this month, and now we have a whole new month out in front of us. And that the arc of reading through the Bible in a year, there's even a rhythm to that. And there's like special events that they have throughout the year. I don't want to give everything away because it was just so fun the first year that I went through. Like, whenever something like a special event would come up, I'd be like, oh my goodness, that's a great idea. Or, oh yes. And then looking forward to it again the next year. Um, so, like, as the year is coming to a close, they have like a wrap up time, and where they, Brian and his wife Jill, get together and they talk about the year, and they talk about, like, they choose a word for the next year that they're going to really focus on. There's the Daily Audio Bible Christmas party, which, oh my goodness, it's so wonderful. They point out, like, how amazing Easter is, how amazing Christmas is with the coming of the promised Messiah. The first year, oh my goodness, I get so busy with getting ready for Christmas that I can hardly, like, focus on the reason for the season. But this just really, like, helped me see, oh, this is what we're celebrating. And then, like, that morning of Christmas morning, because I always listen, well, not always, but usually I'm listening as I'm getting ready for the day. And so as I was getting ready for the day on Christmas, they played a song like about Jesus coming and the rejoicing of that. And oh my goodness, my heart was just lifted. I felt like one of the shepherds who had come to worship the newborn king. They have a special holiday just for the DAB in July, and they'll talk about how they do that and how you can participate. So it's just really cool, like the rhythm of it all. That and we're not like rushing through all of these things. It's just an observance of the passage of time, and the ebb and flow, and the repetition, and noticing that we have ends and beginnings, and don't dwell on the past, but reflect on it and then look forward to the next thing, and that it's all out in front of us. No mistakes are out in front of us. And then finally, the coolest thing about the Daily Audio Bible, that, and something that I believe is unique to this, is the community. So the community of people who are listening to the Daily Audio Bible, they're called Dabbers, but they talk about how we're gathering around this global campfire. And it's like, here we are, and we're all listening together. But guess what? At the end of every session, you get to hear from people, real people. And this is how I know that this thing is being recorded fresh every year. Well, one of the ways. Another was like when China was having a baby, like she would talk about, like, this was all like entwined in all of it. Like, this is all like being done every year fresh. Anyways, after they've had the reading and the commentary and the prayer and the little information part about the I was going to say the channel, it is kind of like a channel, but about the podcast, the ministry, there are recordings that people have sent in, because there's a way to record on the app, of prayer requests, praises, and people praying for previously requested prayer. I couldn't believe it the first time that I listened, because I was about to turn it off. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yep, okay, yeah, this is great. I was about to turn it off, and I'm like, well, there's still several minutes left. And I kept on listening, and I heard other people coming on, listeners who had called in. I couldn't believe it. And I think that there's a lot of people who actually miss that. They're like, oh, I'm done. They turn it off and they go about their day. If you turn it off before the end, like where the people come on, you are missing like half of it, because the community is what makes it so, so special. There's also a weekly, it's like several hours long of community prayer, the things that don't make it onto the broadcast, because there's lots more people are calling in than what they actually have room to post as part of the regular broadcast. And like there's prayer requests on both the regular DAB and the DABC, the chronological, and they're different. And sometimes you do hear the same people, like they'll call into one or the other because they're listening to both. But you start to, after a while, you actually like recognize people. Like some people use their real names. Some people have like, what would you call it? Like call signs, like names that they've made up for themselves. And they're calling in from like all over the world. I hear people from England, from Africa, from Australia, from Canada, all over the United States, all of these different accents, all ages, and going through the most heart-wrenching things. Like so many times in church, like the prayer requests that we hear either in Sunday school or in Wednesday night prayer meeting are like prayer requests for like health things, like somebody's going through cancer treatments or somebody's having surgery, or something like a job interview, or something like I don't know, needing to sell a house or something. These prayer requests are way more personal, like people who are separated from their spouse and they want to be reconciled and they are begging for God to heal their marriage. People who are like thinking about taking their own life, or somebody that they love is considering taking their own life. Lots of requests concerning mental illness. And it's incredible. They're like, if that's all it was, like just that community part, I would listen every single day for that. But the whole thing is so amazing. I hope that this has maybe piqued your interest. I hope that maybe you'll give it a try. Maybe you are already a dabber. If you are, hey! So nice to see you. So please comment if you are already listening. It was also really fun. Like one year in December, I think on December 22, I posted, because I found it in like the spring of 2022, and I had been listening every day since, and it was so great that I wanted to share it with people that I knew. So I posted on Facebook, and I'm like, hey, just throwing this out that I have really gotten into it, and it's, we're starting a new year. This would be a great time for you to jump in. You can jump in at any time, and I would not recommend trying to like backtrack and to get caught up unless it's like January something, because you'll get discouraged. Just jump in where you are. So anyways, but I had a bunch of friends that I know in real life join me for the journey through the Bible for 2023, and that was really fun. So I would just love it if something that I've said here has gotten you interested. Maybe you have a Bible app that you like to listen to. Our church is actually using a different one. I think it's called the Bible Recap. They started that in like mid-January. I was already doing DAB and DABC, which I ended up dropping the C because I couldn't keep up with both this year, but something had to give. But maybe you have an app that you really like for listening through the Bible in a year, or maybe it's just got really good commentary. It's not through the whole Bible in a year, but it's one that you really like, and tell me why you like it. Because I did try a couple of others, but I ended up settling on the Daily Audio Bible. So, so we know that reading the Bible, whether it's listening to it or reading just one verse, spending time in God's Word is a good habit and one that is important to me. So let's do the habits that we're doing for these 100 days. All right, so let's do our breathing. All right, good. Got in some extra oxygen. Next, water. You got your water? If not, pause and go get it. All right, here we go. Almost there. All gone. Okay, so I've got my paper here to write something that I'm thankful for. I'm going to write, surprise, surprise, that I am thankful for the Daily Audio Bible. Daily Audio Bible. Okay. So I've got the chain right over here. And I will attach it right here. Okay, so that's my 2 cents. What's yours? Leave me a comment. It would be a huge encouragement if you would like and or subscribe. And I will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.